A Day on the Focus. Hey everyone, and welcome back to A Day on the Focus, your daily dose of history's highlights. It's Wednesday, November 27th, and boy, do we have a packed day to unpack. Buckle up, history buffs, because today's timeline is a roller coaster. We're zipping through centuries. From the year 25 AD, when Luoyang became the capital of the Eastern Han dynasty, talk about a long commute. Fast forward a bit, and we're witnessing the brutal execution of Emperor Maurice and his 5 sons in 602 AD. Ouch. Not a great family day out, I'd say. Then, in 1095, Pope Urban II kicks off the First Crusade. Think medieval times, religious fervor, and, well, a whole lot of history. Let's skip ahead to the 1800s. 1809 saw the infamous Berners Street hoax in London. Apparently, Theodore Hook had a wicked sense of humor and a talent for mass confusion. In 1835, we have the last sodomy executions in England. It's a sobering reminder of a very different time. Jumping to the American Civil War, 1863 brings us the Battle of Mine Run. And, much more dramatically, Custer's attack on the Cheyenne at the Washita River in 1868. Yikes, history can be brutal. Then, we have the Nobel Prize. In 1895, Alfred Nobel signs his last will and testament, setting up the prize. So all those brilliant scientists, authors, and peacemakers? We can thank this guy for the recognition. The 20th century is a whirlwind. The first Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade in 1924? Who knew such a fun event had such serious historical roots? Sadly, 1940 brings the assassination of King Carol II's aides in Romania, another example of history's less than pleasant surprises. 1968 brings us Penny Ann Early, a trailblazer in basketball, breaking the gender barrier in professional men's leagues. And in 1971, our first attempt to reach the surface of Mars, which ended in a crash landing. Brutal. Speaking of brutal, 1978 gives us the assassinations of Mayor George Moscone and Harvey Milk in San Francisco. A devastating day. Let's not forget the various plane crashes throughout the years and other tragedies. A constant reminder of the fragility of life and the harsh realities. Phew! That's just a tiny snippet of today's historical happenings. Now, for a little creative story weaving in some of today's events. Imagine a time traveler, let's call her Ilara, who accidentally lands in 1809 London, right in the middle of Theodore Hook's Berners Street hoax. Completely bewildered, she stumbles upon a group of bewildered people reacting to the massive deliveries and finds herself dragged into the chaos. After escaping that mayhem, she accidentally travels to 1978 San Francisco and witnesses the tragedy surrounding the assassination of Harvey Milk and George Moscone. The sheer contrast between the chaotic prank and the tragic violence is overwhelming. She uses her knowledge from the future to find a way to make sure no one gets hurt, but with the help of some of the people that lived through these events. To her surprise, the simple act of preventing a hoax creates a ripple effect that somehow subtly prevents the other tragedies as well. The point is, history is rarely simple, it's chaotic. It's a blend of the ridiculous and the tragic, the triumphant and the devastating. Understanding that complexity, that's what makes studying history so fascinating. It's not just about dates and names, it's about the human experience, in all its messy glory. That's all for today's A Day on the Focus. Tune in tomorrow for another trip through time.